Good afternoon. We're going to start with conference number 32, the radical change. In this conference, we're going to study how we can achieve radical change within ourselves, and when have we started to work really in our inner world. So let's begin. The objective is to see the different mistakes and psychological defects that we have inside of us. This faculty that we have to discover and to enhance is the self-observation, and it will allow us to perceive the different egos that we have in our microcosmos. We have anger, we have envy, vanity, gluttony, and just to admit it is not enough. We need to evidence them, we need to verify that, we need to discover in the instant the different psychological defects that take control of the different centers of the human machine. Our emotions, our thoughts, our actions, our words are always in control by those defects. And if we recognize in the moment, in the instant, in the present, what are we thinking, what are we feeling, what do we want to do, what we desire, in that moment we are making really studying what's happening inside of us with our energy. We are looking to which place are we taking this energy of our inner world, and how to stop feeding our psychological defects, that 97% of bottled up conscience that is trapped in our ego manifests in that way. We are losing our energy, and we are giving that energy to the different defects that we have in our inner world. We are not one but many, and it's not enough just to have that information, just to have that theory, but we need to use the practice of the self-observation. We need to verify that we are not one but many, just by looking at our inner world, perceiving in the instant in which defect is taking control of us, what happens. When I'm angry, what do I want to do? What do I want to say? How do I feel? How do I want to react? That is what we need to take a look at and really identify what is taking control of us. For instance, if I use the self-observation, I'm going to perceive that a psychological defect is angry because I want to take control of a situation and I cannot. I have a problem, I have a difficult circumstance, and I want to shout, I want to scream, I want to insult, I want to tell people that they are guilty because of my misfortunes. And those are the forces that are manifesting in my inner world, and what I want to externalize in the social part, in my relationship with other people, what I want to manifest, what I want to how I want to act, and that's how the defect takes control of my mind, my emotions, my words, and I lose the power to deny. What do I need to deny? Why do I need to have the control? Because if I don't do a process of inner justice, just by eliminating the defect, this defect is going to take all my energy and take control of me, and I am going to go from pleasure to pain, always in an inner confusion, always committing the same mistakes and then apologizing because of that, and not achieving that inner change that I really need to have. That result is the radical change when I start to transform my mechanical actions, words, feelings, and I become something different. If I am going to walk through the same path, I'm going to have the same results as always. But I need to follow a different path, the path of my awakening of the conscience. That path starts when I deny the power of the psychological defect, the control that it has in me, the desire that it makes me feel when I want to shout, when I want to yell, when I want to insult. There is a desire, there is a fire that is trapped there in the psychological defect, that is the ability to love. I need to liberate that conscience, that energy that is bottled up, in order to awaken that force of love, of justice and wisdom that will be the power to control my emotions, my words, my thoughts, and transform that into something that is useful, truthful, and fair with my energy. I'm losing my emotional energy. I am well and I'm making myself be totally depleted of energy. I feel exhausted after I fight with people, after I discuss. I feel depressed. I feel well a lot of things that are really negative and destroy my my temple, that is my body, and my emotions, and my inner equilibrium, my state of harmony. So I need to destroy that defect in order to take control of that energy that I have. My words, my actions, they spend a lot of energy, and when I do something profitable for my conscience with that energy, I'm going to have the power to take a look at the superior dimensions of nature through a practice of astral projection. I'm going to do many things that are really profitable for my inner development, my spiritual development, but when I take control of my energy. If I don't take control of that energy, the different defects are going to spend that, and I'm going to be, totally without an objective, a truthful objective of my existence. I'm going to be from pleasure to pain, and without knowing what should I do in this existence. Just spending the time and entertaining myself with things that are just temporal and not transcendental. So I need to see the details of every defect that I have. If it's lost, I need to study the prototype of beauty, the defect that has attraction, sexual attraction, the defect of being lascivious, that is desiring a repressed sexual desire for someone, even if it's not my husband or my wife. That is a state of adultery, and that attempts towards love, for instance. And if I discover all the details of that defect, I'm going to beg to my Divine Mother. Divine Mother, eliminate me this defect of being lascivious, being adulterous, the defect of pornography, the defect of the prototype of beauty, and I'm going to find love, the truthful meaning of love, fidelity, and chastity, that will allow me to make a sexual practice of sexual transmutation, that is something really superior. So it's urgent that I take a look at all the defects, at all the details of the little defects, to verify that we are not one, but we are many. We don't have that power of the sacred individuality that is the 100% of awakened conscience, but our mind is totally fragmented. We are kind, we are honest, we think we are honest, And in a external circumstance, someone is being annoying, someone we don't like someone, and we become totally different. We are no longer honest, we are no longer kind, we are no longer respectful, and we totally have a lot of defects that come out in that circumstances. We have the defects that reject that person, that feel uh, annoyed for that person, that want to go away and not accept that person in the social environment. Okay, and so this way we are going to experience, and we are going to verify this theory. The idea is that it doesn't remain like a theory, but we can see for ourselves the existence of those little details of our egos that we have in our inner world, and that are taking control of our energy. So without self-observation, there is no discovery. If you say, I accept that I'm not one, but I'm many, okay, and that's enough. So you are not using your self-observation, and the idea is that you, in every moment of your daily life, you start practicing that self-observation in order to see what's happening with the seven centers of your human machine. Here you have your sexual center, instinctive, emotional center, mental energy, mental center, the motor center, the superior emotional and the superior intellectual centers, and these are the seven centers of the human machine. And you have each of those centers has the energy that you need for getting along in your daily life, and doing the actions that you need to perform, saying the words that you need to say. But the problem is that we don't use that energy consciously, but we start feeding our psychological defects, giving that energy to the psychological defects that we have inside of us. For instance, this sexual creative energy we wasted in the ego, the horny ego. Just we are activating the sexual center with the impressions of sexual attraction that we have for anybody that we see, the prototype of beauty, the prototype that says, I like people with green eyes, brown eyes, this shape of the body, or this shape of the face. And so we have the different prototypes of beauty, and we feel a sexual attraction. If we get carried away by that ego, that is the horny ego, well, we lose our sexual creative energy, and we are no longer going to have that valuable energy that we need to create the superior existential bodies for our being. That are the vehicles that will allow us to manifest and discover the different dimensions of nature. For instance, we have here in the instinctive center the ego of anxiety. We feel a lot of anxiety. We are tense because we are futurizing all the time. We are thinking about the future. What are we gonna do? We are planning, we are projecting, and we are not keeping the instant, maintaining our conscience centered in the action that we are performing. Here, for instance, in the emotional center, we have the ego that is in love, that feels in love, that feels butterflies in the stomach, that feels totally attracted to someone and fascinated for the person he loves. And in the moment that person does something that we don't like, that falling in love turns into hate, and just is an emotional lack of balance, because in the emotional center we need to awaken the virtues and the superior senses that are the ability to love and to feel superior emotions, not just falling in love and then hating someone says something nice to us and we immediately feel uh, vanity, we feel superior, and someone insults us and just we feel hate. So we are not having an emotional equilibrium, an emotional balance. In the mental center, there is, for example, the ego of pride, the ego that is really intellectual, um, and we are always hearing our thoughts, our theories, our ideas, and we are despising what everyone else has to say because we are so proud in the mental center. Our intellect fascinates us, and we are not able to hear the different opinions and admit the different ways to think of people around us. In the motor center, that is the center of our actions, words, and omissions, we feel, for example, the ego of fear, the ego of violence, because we fear triggers the need to defend ourselves and to be violent. These defects that can be triggered here are the ego of wasting, the wasteful egos that spend all the money in things that we don't need. Here we have the tendency to feed the egos of ambition, of greed, of envy. So all the different defects that can take control, they are many. These are just examples, but we need to verify them when we are in at a moment of our daily routines. We take a moment just to reflect, what am I doing with my energy? Is this useful, truthful, fair? This what I desire to do, is this for my conscience, or is this a psychological defect that wants me to act and feel this way? Should I do this? Should I think this way? Should I feel this way? And so I'm going to start critically judging everything that I want to do, everything that I desire, everything that I want to say. And in that moment, I am going to start applying the self-observation, discovering all the defects that can and will take control of our human machine unless we do something about it. And back to our Divine Mother. Divine Mother, eliminate me this ego that wants to insult, wants to blame people, wants to be angry, wants to shout, wants to discuss. The ego that feels lust for someone that is not my couple, that wants to take a look at a pornographic scene just to feel the sexual arousing. All the defects that wants us to do. They want us to take our energy and just feed them. We are going to deny that action in order to have the power and the control to decide to walk the path of the awakening of the conscience and start to obtain different results, start to fill that void that we have in our inner world with something that is much bigger, that is wisdom, justice, and love. This type of work is not external, it's internal. No one can do this job for us. It's our job and our duty. It's our responsibility to be directing consciously our attention to our inner world and perceive all this that we want to do with our energy. What we desire is fire, but if we let the fire of our desire enslave us, we are not going to be free. And happiness is obtained in freedom from our psychological defects. We have a lot of materialism, We have a lot of needs of comfort and wealth. We have a lot of needs for pleasure, and that pleasure comes turns into pain. So we need to free ourselves from those ties, from those attachments that tie us to our ego in order to achieve happiness, love, truth. There is not a store of truth that will tell us how to behave, how to act, what to say. Um, the only uh, the only way that we can get to discover what's truthful, what is um, the what does love uh, feels like, what does wisdom really means. That is not something from the intellect, but is something that is transcendental, is the conscience that is trapped in a defect. So we need to liberate ourselves from those defects in order to be free and to obtain that happiness and that inner wealth that we need to acquire. Uh, that is a work that we are going to do independently by ourselves, uh, and accepting the multiple errors that we carry within ourselves without discarding the need to study them is a form of self-deception, just of laziness, of sloth, of just settling down for just recognizing, yes, sometimes I'm a liar, sometimes I'm violent, sometimes I am sexually degenerated, sometimes I'm enslaved by the addiction to drugs and alcohol and a lot of defects. But that's me, hey, and that's enough. If I settle down for that, I'm not going to achieve any radical change. I'm going to keep being the same obscure character with the conscience totally fragmented, the ability of loving, of taking a look at the different mysteries of the universe is going to be bottled up in my defects. So it's going to serve for nothing. I'm going to have to unwrap those presence that are the virtues, faculties, powers, and forces that are trapped in my psychological defects. But I need to fight with them. I need to destroy them and eliminate them in order for a new person to be born. And that person is going to be characterized by having the conscience totally awakened. So when I start rescuing the different parts that are fragmented of my being, I am going to have the power to integrate those faculties, powers, and forces. That love that I have, it's going to serve me for communicating with my being. And my being is that portion of myself that knows it all, that knows how to get in touch with the superior dimensions of nature and finding out about the mysteries of this human existence. To accept that we are many but without verifying it is not useful. We are just going to settle with our inner darkness, and we are going to be totally degenerated because we are going to develop something that is the bad will. The bad will is the resigning, well, just settling down with our inner darkness, with that obscurity, and don't doing anything for changing that condition. But if we want to extract light out of darkness and become a force of light, a force of love and wisdom that is going to lighten up his own path and the path of many, we are going to awaken something much bigger, and something that it's the power of us to connect with our conscience. Evading the work of intimate self-observation is a sign of degeneration. Degeneration because we uh, become more enslaved by the force of ego, by that obscurity, and we become darker and darker, and even with knowing that we are destroying ourselves and destroying people around us, we are just not caring for that, but we let ourselves be carried by the desire to feed our pleasure, even if it causes pain to people around us, and even if it's destroyed, is self-destructive. So evidence, experience, and understanding is fundamental. We are going to have to be practical, to be really revolutionary, because we are not going to be enslaved by the forces of laziness, being totally passive, but we are going to have to fight with those forces of ego in our daily life constantly. Everything that we feel, everything that we think, everything that we experience in the sexual center, all those sexual impulses, these low passions, these instincts that we feel mechanically, we are going to need to perceive them, to be conscious about them, to make them evident, and to dissolve them. If I feel, for instance, a desire just to consume something that is going to destroy me, I'm going to have to be conscious. Why do I want to do that? What is the consequence of that? What is the cause of that? I'm going to have to do many practices of retrospection, of meditation, in order to perceive the causes and the consequences of my actions, thoughts, and feelings. And a revolutionary force, that is the conscience, is going to merge, is going to take control, and that fire, that ability to love, is going to destroy all the negative elements that we have inside ourselves: hate, rancor, envy, adultery, lasciviousness, greed, all those negative forces that take control of us are going to be disintegrated by the force of our Divine Mother. If we pray to our Divine Mother, Divine Mother, eliminate me this ego that wants to hate this person, that is always thinking how to get revenge, get even. What do I want to say to that person? How do I want to answer? Well, I am going to disintegrate all those forces, and my conscience is going to help me to solve that problem, that bad relationship with that person, in a way that is going to be wisdom, that takes control of the situation and solves it. So knowledge and understanding are totally different. We have developed a lot the side of the intellect, of the concepts, of the theory of our mind, and we have forgetting the other side, that is the side of the understanding, of the comprehension, that is the wisdom that is trapped in our psychological defects. We need to connect that with our wisdom, and let go of our mind, of our theories, of our concepts and fixed ideas that we have implanted in our brain, in order to achieve the wisdom from our heart, that is the force of the intuition, that is the faculty of the concentration, of the self-observation, that it's understanding from the heart, and developing that wisdom and love that is trapped in a psychological defect. If I free myself from, for instance, lust, I'm going to value my sexual creative energy, know that with that energy I'm going to build up my conscience, the existential bodies of my being, and that sexual creative energy is going to give me the powers, faculties, and forces that I need in order to connect with my spirit, that force of the Kundalini. So that is understanding, that is the comprehension, that is the true wisdom that is trapped in the conscious use of my sexual creative energy. So the understanding is different from the intellect. The intellect says, oh, no, but the science says that it's good to feel pleasure. But society says that it's good to feel pleasure with sex and to entertain ourselves. But those are a lot of concepts, and we haven't experienced the wisdom. We haven't experienced the superior dimensions of nature, and we need to develop that part, because if we are intellectual, we are just going to be rational animals, mistakenly called men, committing the same crimes against ourselves, destroying our inner world, destroying people, and not caring for anyone, just sleeping our conscience in our daily life. So we need to develop that wisdom, and we need to be radical and have a radical change, most of all, and mainly starting with the defects of drugs, alcohol, and fornication, because what happens with those defects are that they are really obscure. They revive, they make our psychological defects come to life again. If we have done a practice of meditation and we have eliminated a lot of defects of vanity, of anger, of greed, of adultery, of pornography, and we have experienced an advance, and we decide to take drugs, or just drink a little bit of alcohol, or fornicate, that is losing our sexual creative energy in the orgasm or the ejaculation, what happens is that those defects that we have eliminated come to life again. They come to us and they get strengthened. We thought that we had eliminated them, but if we use these defects in order to feed our pleasure, we are going to make them come to life again. That hate that we felt, that we didn't feel anymore, we are going to experience it again, because drugs and alcohol rotten our sexual creative energy, the energy of our human machine. Fornication makes the solar atoms from our sexual creative energy become lunar atoms. We are going to create more ego by expelling the sexual creative energy of our physical body. And drugs and alcohol, they are a crime against our Holy Spirit, because we are attempting and damaging really badly the cells of our human machine, of this temple that is the physical body. That is the first vehicle that we have to manifest in this third dimension. So we need to take care of that physical body. It's not ours for it to be destroyed. So we need to be careful, most of all, with these defects. And I'm going to leave you with this phrase: radical transformation is a definite possibility that is normally lost when we don't work in ourselves. What happens that when we are totally passive, when we are resigned, just settled up with admitting that we are evil in some ways, that we are dark, we have obscure things, and we don't care about it, we are going to give more energy to our psychological defects, and they are going to take control of us, and we are going to fall from pleasure to pain, and without having a truthful objective in our existence. So it's really important that we discover the different mysteries in the universe. What does a human existence mean? How do we need to profit and to awaken our conscience? in this moment, the time for our existence is going to pass away, and we need to achieve something transcendental, that is the awakening of the 100% of conscience, because with that we are going to achieve the sacred individuality with our being, and discover the mysteries of the universe. So this potential in us is waiting for us to well, unwrap it and discover it. So this we are going to achieve it with the radical change, stopping the self-deception, stopping to settle down with what we are, but transforming us and being radical with all our defects in order to well uh, that conscience that is bottled up in our ego, uh, unwrap it and take the essence that is there. The essence is going to represent the fire and love, in order for us to do something with our energy and create our inner vehicles that are going to represent us in the different dimensions of nature. So this was the conference of the radical change. I'm going to see if you have any comments. No, there are no comments, but thank you for hearing us. Thank you for your attention and your time, and I hope this conference has been profitable for your inner work, for the working in that self-observation development in order for us to achieve a radical change. Have a good afternoon and see you in the next conference. Bye.